The other day, Don Lemon and Charles Blow and Michelle Turner from Entertainment Tonight, um, and some other brother was talking about uh, Kevin Hart because Ellen had defended him, and there were people in the gay community who were mad that Ellen thought for herself. But as I told you, I think Ellen realized that the gay community have gone too far in their attacks on black people. And I think also she probably realized, now I'm just assuming, that she realized that she took part in destroying a black man's career. And if you guys remember Isaiah Washington, go look at what happened to Isaiah Washington. It was the gay community that destroyed that man's career. Even though he apologized, they still told Disney and Shonda Rhimes of Grey's Anatomy they want him gone. And I told y'all for the last 20 years, the gay community has got on this theme where they want to make the black community seem as the most homophobic. When in fact, the black community, even though those of us in the community don't agree with homosexuality, we've never denied them the ability to be who they are. Now, I know as of late there have been incidents where you had men and women who are gay or transsexual uh, have been harmed in some way, but it's more to that story than being reported. But nonetheless, other night Don Lemon swore up and down that Kevin Hart never apologized, but he said it, and every other outlet even reported that Kevin did apologize way back when he was critiqued for it. But Don still pushed that lie that he didn't. And then at the same breath, Dunn wanted Kevin to come onto his show where he can talk about it so that Dunn can say he can become an ally. Now, what I find insulting that he talked to Kevin, Kevin called him, and Kevin had a off the record conversation, but Dunn still talked about it in a slick way. And he played audio from Kevin's radio show. And Dunn was sort of like saying Kevin don't want to be an ally. And the thing is, what Kevin said is that he don't feel he had to go out there and pretend or stand right next to you to be respectful of you. And what Dunn in the gay community wants to do is use a black face, a heterosexual, well-known black man to try to make homosexuality more acceptable to the masses. Now, y'all had a sitting president and a first lady that went out of their way to get people to accept homosexuality as a normal part of life. And it is in some ways a normal part of life. And what I mean by that is there's been gay people on this planet for thousands of years over homie, you know what I mean? So it's nothing new. It's just that there's more straight people on this planet than gay. But the last 20 years or so, it's been this blurred line. And you have a lot of young men and young women who are confused about sexual identity because they're being exposed to things they shouldn't be exposed to. But we can talk about that another time, you know. But anyways, Don Lemon was low key throwing shade at Kevin Hart, and Don Lemon was basically saying that Kevin don't really want to help the community. Don, you need to remember you're a black man first. You have to remember the stuff that you said and done to contribute to our pain. When you left Chicago to come work for CNN, I remember our first time I said Dunn must have kissed a lot of ass to get to where he's at. Because, when you make that kind of leap from to the new, but then again, Ginger Z, Paula Ferris, Robin Meade, Lester Holt, and many other people, Elizabeth Vargas, uh, 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 um, and many others over the years have left Chicago and gone on bigger things. But the thing is, Don Lemon was initially put on weekends. And he was Mr. Pro Black for a while until that brother ran for, I think, congressman. And he bad mouthed him. And I had told people, I said, I suspected that Don was was playing both sides when he was in Chicago, but in Chicago it would have stood out local media. So he had Tim Wise on his show quite regular. Then when Jeff Zucker was chosen to come run CNN, they did a purge. They got rid of Roland, Soledad, Tony Harris, and quite a few black faces. And Don was able to hang on because Don pandered to that audience. He defended Bill O'Reilly. He badmouthed Trayvon Martin. Remember that. People forget that. When the thing with Ferguson happened, he disrespected the people of Ferguson. You know, he disrespected the black community on multiple occasions. Then the ultimate act of betrayal, he helped destroy Bill Cosby's legacy. We talk about Hannibal Buress, we talk about Kenan Thompson and the rest, but Don Lemon was a big part of that too. And now Don Lemon is throwing shade, not just at Kevin Hart, but black people in general, saying that the black community is homophobia. You had some negative experiences growing up. I'm not going to deny that. But the thing is, to indict an entire community of people, just because I don't agree with homosexuality doesn't mean that I'm afraid of gay people, or do I want to see harm befall gay people, or do I want to see them discriminated against. Let me remind y'all again, when a large number of gay people have been ostracized from various communities, they ran to the black community. Because they even said that black gay people are able to move around a lot more freer. I guess we forget that a lot of our popular musicians, even though they didn't come out and say it, and even though they were suspect, we still play their music. Luther Vandross, come on, we knew, come on. Freddie Jackson, he's suspect. Quite a few more. You know, the late Billy Preston, I didn't find until Unsung that he was a gay man. Does that mean I like his music any less? No. Hell, growing up, and then while he's not a black man, growing up, we watched the Brady Bunch. Come to find out that the father was gay. Did that change the way I look at the Brady Bunch? For a while, I ain't gonna lie, it did. But I said, wait a minute. He's playing a character on TV. What he does is personal business is his business. He's not hurting me. Now, there's those of us in the community who talk about how there are gay people who have caused confusion, or have done questionable or said questionable things, but for some reason those stories are not picked up on. You know, Dunn talking about what Kevin Hart said 12 years ago. Let's go back 11 years when President Obama ran for office and Prop 8 didn't get passed in California. What was gay people calling us that night? Niggers. Wishing death on us, blaming us for their problems. But Dunn gonna sit there and be low-key slick and throw shade, not just at Kevin Hart, but at the black community. He said homophobia of the black community. I guess all these gay men and women walking around our community, those just flukes. That's just a figment of our imaginations. There been quite a few singers that were gay that we knew or we suspected. We suspected Missy Elliott is gay. Queen Latifah, I mean, it's like a duh. But that didn't stop us from watching them live and see. That didn't stop the guys for saying that she's an attractive sister. Look, they do total, what about me? What about us? What you gonna do? One of the chicks in that group come across Canna Butch. I forget her name, the darker skinned sister. There are a lot of well-known black actors that we know come across feminine or are feminine or masculine. We don't discriminate against them. We never say we're not watching your shows anymore. What black people say, they won't like being manipulated or used as a proxy. Black men don't like being emasculated. Our sexuality is under attack. But you sit there and you keep insisting that the black community is anti-gay. Like I said, Don, you have a few years. You what, 50-something years old? You what, 51, 52? So what? Was a 10-year age difference between us? If I remember the 1980s vividly, when the AIDS epidemic was at an all-time, when there was no cure, there was no drug to aid people, when people were just dropping dead like flies. Who was taking care of these people? It was members of the black community, the nurses, the black doctors. You had black orderlies, or candy stripes. I mean, you had people dealing with the gay community intimately, and I ain't talking about on a sexual nature. I mean on a personal nature. Remember, Michael Jackson was one of the people that went out there and befriended Ryan White. He wasn't gay. He got HIV through a blood transfusion. The needles in blood was tainted. People still didn't have nothing to do with him. Remember that little black girl? I can't think of her. She's a woman now, but she was on. Oh, I can't think of her name. And she said, "I just want to live and live." And from last time I heard, she's still alive. We didn't ostracize her from the community. We didn't do the things that white, Asian, and Hindu or so-called Hispanic have done. But see, what the gay community has done is they've learned from the Jewish community. We need an enemy. And who can you make an enemy with? Somebody who can't push back or don't know how to push back. Who gentrified the community? It was gay people that was gentrifying our community before it became the norm. If you go in Chicago on the north side, along Halsted in that area, it's called Boys Town. But it was a lot of blacks that lived over that area and poor whites. And what do? They pushed them out of the community. Now, if you don't make a certain amount of money, you can't afford to live up there. And when you go up there, they look at you like, what are you doing here? You don't want to address the racism in the gay community or the classism in the gay community, but you want to paint the black community as being the biggest victimizers. But see, Don sleeps with a white man, so his view of the world is very skewed. But Don needs to go somewhere and be quiet. Don has caused a lot of damage and said a lot of things. You better hope CNN keep you around for a long time. You better hope that you stay at CNN for a long time, because I'm telling y'all, there are brothers and sisters chomping at the bit to see you have a downfall. That you keep on playing into these stereotypes and make it seem like black men are the world's biggest predators, and then you sit there and say the black community don't respect people's sexuality. That's not true. We don't like the idea that some people go too far with doing certain things or try to use their sexuality to manipulate people. I'm glad Kevin is not hosting, because it was reported that Kevin turned down hosting the Oscars. I don't blame him, because look how they attacked him from the start. Don want to make himself part of the story. Everybody said, "Come see me, call me." You ain't, who the hell? Kevin have to answer to you. And I'm glad Kevin didn't go on your show. But you basically said, "I'm gonna keep what we said off. I'm not talking about what we actually said." But then you end up doing it anyways. People like Don Lemon who are not to be trusted. They're dangerous. They're opportunists. They're crap starters. But go ahead and keep pushing that narrative about black folk being homophobic. Go ahead. When something happens, when something happen to you by the hands of a so-called Hispanic or a white person, don't look for us to come save you or stand by you. Because a lot of us remember what you've said and what you've done.